The seas are about to shake once again. One Piece's live-action journey is sailing full speed ahead into Season 2, and the world of the Straw Hats is about to change forever. Two names have every fan buzzing: Tony Chopper, the adorable doctor with a giant heart, and Crocodile, one of the most dangerous villains in the entire Grand Line. These two characters don't just join the story, they define it. From laughter and warmth to chaos and destruction, Season 2 promises a storm that will test the crew like never before. When Netflix's One Piece live-action series first hit the screen, nobody knew what to expect. Adapting one of the most beloved manga and anime series of all time was never going to be easy. Fans were nervous. Could the magic of Eiichiro Oda's world really work in live action? And yet, Season 1 delivered something that surprised nearly everyone. The story began with Monkey D. Luffy, a boy who dreamed of becoming the king of the pirates. Unlike most people, Luffy wasn't after gold or treasure. He wanted freedom, adventure, and the bonds of true friendship. With his rubber powers from the Gum Gum fruit, he set out to form a crew worthy of sailing the seas. One by one, we watched this crew come together. Zoro, the stoic swordsman chasing his dream of becoming the world's greatest. Nami, the clever navigator with a painful secret and a burning desire to draw the map of the entire world. Usopp, the sharp-tongued sniper, with a wild imagination but a brave heart hidden beneath the surface. And Sanji, the charming cook whose fists and feet were just as fiery as his passion for food. Season 1 didn't just recreate iconic moments, it brought them to life in a way that made them feel real. From Zoro's three-sword-style duels to Sanji's fiery kicks in the Baratie, the series respected the original material while still giving it a cinematic flavor. The sets were grand and practical, the ships felt real enough to touch, and the fight choreography balanced over the top. Action with grounded realism. Fans saw Arlong Park rise out of the ocean like a nightmare and then crumble in one of the most emotional battles of the season. By the end of Season 1, the Straw Hats had not only defeated Arlong but also claimed their ship the Going Merry setting. Sail with laughter, tears, and dreams burning brighter than ever. But Netflix's live-action One Piece didn't just capture the story. It captured the spirit. The sense of adventure, the themes of friendship, and the idea that even the most broken people can find a place where they belong. For fans of the anime and manga, it felt like seeing old friends in a brand new light. And for newcomers, it was the beginning of a wild and heartfelt journey into a world unlike any other. Still, for all the triumphs and joy of Season 1, the ending carried a clear message. The seas are only going to get rougher. The Straw Hats may have defeated Arlong, but greater enemies are waiting just beyond the horizon. The crew's journey has only just begun, and their path will lead them into much darker waters, introducing allies who will become family, and villains who will shake entire kingdoms. Season 2 doesn't just continue the adventure, it raises the stakes to an entirely new level. When fans think of the Straw Hat crew, one face always stands out: round, furry, and always wearing a little blue hat with a pink cross on the front. That's right, Tony Chopper. He isn't just another crew member. He's the heart of the team, a character who can make audiences laugh one moment and cry the next. And now, in Season 2 of Netflix's One Piece, the world will finally see him step onto the deck of the Going Merry. But who is Chopper, really? On the surface, he's a tiny reindeer with a strange ability to speak, walk, and even fight like a human. That power comes from the human fruit, a rare devil fruit. That changed his life forever. Once a regular reindeer shunned by his herd because of his blue nose, Chopper was rejected again after gaining human traits: too human to belong with reindeer, but too animal to belong with humans. It's one of the most tragic origin stories in One Piece, and it gives Chopper a depth that makes him more than just a cute mascot. He's a symbol of isolation, struggle, and eventually, the discovery of family. His story connects to Dr. Hilulak, a strange but loving doctor who took Chopper in when the rest of the world abandoned him. Hilulak taught Chopper the art of medicine, but more importantly, he gave him a message that still defines Chopper today. When do you think people die? when they are shot with a bullet. No, when they eat a poisonous mushroom. No, they die when they are forgotten. These words shaped Chopper's dream of becoming a doctor who could cure any illness. It's this dream that makes him such an important addition to the crew, not just as their doctor, but as a reminder of hope, compassion, and the power of believing in something bigger than yourself, bringing Chopper into a live-action setting. Though, is going to be a huge challenge. Unlike Zorro or Nami, Chopper can't simply be played by a human actor with costumes and makeup. He's a small, talking reindeer who transforms into different forms from his adorable brain point to his monstrous heavy point. The question every fan has been asking is, how will Netflix pull this off? Will they rely heavily on CGI, blending realistic fur textures with expressive cartoon-like features? Or will they use a mix of motion capture and visual effects to make him feel alive? Getting this right is more than just a technical hurdle. It's about making sure Chopper's emotions and personality shine through. Think about it. Chopper isn't just about fighting. He's shy, easily flustered, and sometimes hilariously naive. He has a habit of hiding behind walls while peeking out to eavesdrop, then proudly stepping out while pretending not to care when someone compliments him. His tsundere personality pretending not to like attention, while secretly loving it, makes him endlessly relatable and lovable. For audiences who are meeting him for the first time in live action, it's crucial that these small quirks are captured. Without them, Chopper risks being reduced to just another CGI animal. Another big question fans have is who will voice Chopper. In the anime, his voice is iconic, childlike, yet strong, playful, yet emotional. Whoever is chosen needs to carry that same energy while fitting into the grounded tone of the live-action world. The voice has to make us laugh when he gets scared of something silly and break our hearts when he cries over the pain of others. Done right, Chopper could easily become the breakout star of Season 2, appealing not only to hardcore fans but also to families and children watching for the first time. Chopper's introduction also marks a turning point in the story's structure. Up until now, the crew's adventures have been about forming the team and taking on smaller threats. With Chopper, the narrative dives deeper into themes of loneliness, acceptance, and sacrifice. The Drum Island arc, where Chopper's backstory unfolds, is one of the most emotional sagas in One Piece. Seeing it in live action will be a test for Netflix, but if they succeed, it could deliver one of the most powerful storylines in the entire series. Imagine the snowy mountains of Drum Island brought to life, the harsh winds, the struggle against Wapol, and the heartbreaking farewell to Hiluluk. These moments could become some of the most talked-about scenes in live-action anime history, and beyond the drama, Chopper also brings a sense of balance to the crew. With his medical skills, he isn't just a fighter, he's their lifeline. Whenever Luffy pushes his body beyond its limits or Zoro bleeds from countless wounds, it's Chopper who patches them back together. He gives the Straw Hats the strength to keep moving both physically and emotionally. That role, both as a doctor and as a source of emotional comfort, will only grow more important as the story heads toward the massive battles of Alabasta and beyond. So when we talk about Season 2's biggest reveal, Chopper isn't just a side character being added to the cast. He's the heart and soul of the next chapter. He represents the warmth of found family, the pain of being an outcast, and the hope that comes from never giving up on your dreams. If Netflix gets him right, he could become the character that makes audiences fall in love with One Piece all over again. Asterisk if Tony Chopper represents the heart of the Straw Hats' journey, then Crocodile represents the shadow that hangs over them. In Season 2, the crew won't just face personal struggles or small-time villains. They will clash with one of the 7 warlords of the Sea, a man so cunning and so dangerous that he nearly toppled an entire kingdom. That man is Sir Crocodile. Crocodile is not your typical pirate. He isn't loud, he doesn't chase fame, and he doesn't waste time with flashy declarations. Instead, he's calm, calculating, and always 2 steps ahead of everyone else. His appearance alone tells you he's different. The heavy fur coat draped across his shoulders, the golden hook replacing his left hand, and the ever-present cigar clenched between his teeth. This isn't just style, it's intimidation. Every detail screams power and authority, but what makes Crocodile so terrifying is his devil fruit power. The sand fruit, with it, he can control and transform into sand, turning battlefields into deserts and enemies into dust. He can drain the very moisture out of anything he touches, leaving the ground cracked and lifeless, or reducing his opponents to withered husks. Imagine how this will look in live action. Vast stretches of desert sandstorms swallowing entire armies and a single man at the center, untouchable and merciless. Crocodile isn't just a villain. He's a natural disaster in human form. Yet what elevates him above other enemies is his mind. Crocodile is a strategist, a master manipulator who doesn't just fight with brute strength. Instead, he weaves intricate plots that use fear, loyalty, and deception as weapons. In the Alabasta saga, his grand plan is to seize control of an entire kingdom from the inside. He disguises himself as a hero, forming an organization called Baroque Works that secretly spreads chaos across the land. All the while, he positions himself as the savior the people should trust. It's a brilliant scheme that shows his true danger. Crocodile doesn't just win battles, he wins wars without anyone realizing he's the enemy until it's too late. For the Straw Hats, Crocodile represents their first encounter with a truly unstoppable opponent. In the anime and manga, their clashes with him were brutal. Luffy himself nearly lost his life multiple times, buried under sand and poisoned by Crocodile's cunning traps. The live-action adaptation has the potential to make these battles even more intense. Unlike Arlong, who was strong but straightforward, Crocodile fights with precision, exploiting his enemy's every weakness. Watching him dismantle the Straw Hats piece by piece will be both thrilling and terrifying, but Crocodile isn't just about raw villainy. Like every great One Piece character, he has layers. His hunger for power is undeniable, but his pride, arrogance, and obsession with control make him strangely human. He's not chaotic like Buggy or wild like Arlong. He's disciplined, elegant, and terrifyingly patient. This makes him a perfect foil for Luffy, where Luffy charges forward with reckless courage. Crocodile waits, plans, and strikes only when victory is certain. Their eventual showdown is more than a clash of powers. It's a clash of ideals, and then there's the matter of how Crocodile will be portrayed in live action. Casting him is no small task. The actor must capture that deep, commanding presence, with a voice that can silence a room and eyes that show no mercy. His look has to feel both grounded and larger than life, blending real-world style with the flamboyance of Oda's design. And of course, the CGI and visual effects must bring his sand powers to life in a way that feels epic but believable. If Netflix gets this right, Crocodile could easily become one of the most memorable villains in live-action television. Crocodile's presence also raises the stakes for the story itself. In Season 1, the crew's struggles were personal Nami's freedom, Zoro's loyalty, Sanji's pride. In Season 2, the conflict expands to an entire kingdom. Alabasta isn't just a backdrop. It's a nation on the brink of collapse, torn apart by Crocodile's schemes. Through this storyline, we see what the Straw Hats are really fighting for. It's not just about their dreams anymore. It's about standing up for people who can't fight back. It's about proving that even a small crew of misfits can challenge the greatest powers in the world. And make no mistake, Crocodile is not a stepping stone. He is a wall, a towering obstacle that forces the Straw Hats to grow stronger, braver, and closer than ever before. His arrival in the live-action series marks the beginning of a new era in their journey. The fun, light-hearted adventures of Season 1 will give way to a darker, heavier story filled with betrayal, sacrifice, and battles that feel impossible to win. So, when Crocodile finally steps onto the screen in Season 2, audiences will know instantly. This is not just another villain of the week. This is the kind of enemy who shapes legends. This is the man who turns deserts into graveyards. And this is the storm the Straw Hats must survive if they want to continue chasing their dreams across the Grand Line. Season 1 of Netflix's One Piece gave us a taste of adventure, friendship, and the dangers that come with chasing dreams. But as the Straw Hats sail forward, the seas will become far more treacherous, and their story will grow much bigger. Season 2 won't just be about gathering more crew members or fighting small battles. It will unfold across entire arcs that shaped One Piece into the global phenomenon it is today. 3 of these arcs stand out as the spine of the next chapter: Loguetown, Drum Island, and Alabasta. Together, they form a journey that will test the Straw Hats in ways they've never faced before. Let's start with Loguetown, often called the town of the beginning and the end. It's the place where Guldy Roger, the Pirate King, was executed, and it's also the place where Luffy must face his destiny head-on. Here, we'll see echoes of history colliding with the present. For the live-action, Loguetown could serve as the perfect opening for Season 2 dark cobblestone streets, the looming execution platform, and the oppressive sense of marine authority everywhere. It's here that Smoker makes his grand entrance, a marine captain who is unlike any the crew has faced before. With his smoke fruit powers, he's relentless, a hunter who refuses to let pirates slip away. Smoker adds a layer of tension and sets the tone for the dangers that lie ahead. The Marines are watching, and they are no longer underestimating the Straw Hat crew. From there, the story shifts dramatically to Drum Island, a snow-covered kingdom, filled with sorrow and hope. This is where Tony Chopper's story truly unfolds. Imagine the live-action visuals: towering mountains capped with snow, icy blizzards that make every step dangerous, and a tyrant named Wapol who rules with selfish cruelty. Here, the themes of acceptance and belonging are at the forefront. We'll see Chopper's tragic past, his bond with Dr. Hiluluk, and his eventual decision to join Luffy's crew. In many ways, Drum Island is the emotional core of Season 2, showing that the Straw Hats aren't just about chasing dreams. They're about building a family out of broken, lonely people. The heartbreak of Chopper's origin story, paired with the triumph of him finding a home among the Straw Hats, could easily become one of the most unforgettable parts of the live-action series, but everything builds toward the massive Alabasta arc, the true centerpiece of Season 2. This arc takes the Straw Hats beyond personal struggles and throws them into a kingdom-wide conflict that could decide the fate of an entire nation. Princess Vivi of Alabasta, a character beloved by fans, will step into the spotlight. Her story is one of loyalty, sacrifice, and the crushing weight of responsibility. The Straw Hats join her fight to save her homeland from collapse. As Crocodile's Baroque Works organization spreads lies, rebellion, and chaos throughout the Desert Kingdom, the Alabasta storyline is where One Piece matures. It's no longer just about goofy adventures or small-scale battles. It's about betrayal, political corruption, and the cost of leadership. Netflix has the chance to turn this saga into something epic, sweeping desert landscapes, vast armies clashing, and Crocodile orchestrating it all from the shadows. The stakes here are higher than ever before. Not just the survival of the crew, but the future of an entire kingdom. The arc also brings some of the most powerful and emotional battles in the series. Zoro's brutal clashes, Sanji's strategic fights, Usopp's courage under impossible odds. All of these moments will remind audiences why each Straw Hat matters. And then, of course, there's Luffy versus Crocodile. This isn't just another fight, it's a war of ideals. Luffy's reckless determination to protect his friends and help Vivi collides head-on with Crocodile's cold, calculated hunger for control. Their battles are legendary in the manga and anime, and in live action they could become iconic. The sight of Sandstorm swallowing cities, Luffy lying defeated but refusing to give up, and the final blow that shakes the desert itself, these are the kinds of scenes that could cement One Piece's live-action series as one of Netflix's crown jewels. But beyond the action, what makes these arcs so special is their heart. Loguetown shows us destiny, Drum Island shows us family, and Alabasta shows us sacrifice. Together, they shape the Straw Hats into more than just a crew. They become a symbol of hope. Each island, each battle, each bond forged along the way deepens their connection and proves that their journey is about more than just chasing treasure. It's about changing lives, one island at a time. So when fans think about Season 2, it isn't just about new characters or stronger enemies. It's about seeing the Straw Hats step into a larger world, one filled with kingdoms, politics, and villains who don't just swing swords, they reshape entire nations. It's about watching this small band of dreamers stand against forces that should be impossible to defeat. And most importantly, it's about reminding us why One Piece has captured hearts for decades, because no matter how heavy the storm, the Straw Hats sail forward together.